What'd you think of the game, Rece?
Rich, I think it was an absolute classic. I think sometimes when we get a few years removed from a game that we've deemed the greatest of all time, we don't think anything can ever approach it. I'm going to have to think on it a couple more days, but I think it's right there with USC and Texas, and that vintage Vince Young moment at the end, and Deshaun Watson had his. I think it's it's certainly one of those two games, the greatest championship games I've ever seen. And I really didn't know if this year's game could be better than last year's, which was, dramatic and entertaining and had huge swings of emotion, and last night more than lived up to the billing.
Yeah, I mean, there's some DNA in to back up what you just said, where obviously Deshaun being the first Heisman runner-up since Vince Young to win a national championship game, with Alabama being the first defending champ to lose a national championship game since USC in that game. Do you think that this is a moment for Deshaun Watson similar to Vince Young's in terms of what we view him as for college football? Because I just remember Vince Young being the undisputed best quarterback we've seen in years, and he's going to be drafted high in the NFL. And I don't feel that for Deshaun Watson for some reason.
You know what? I think I agree with you. I'm not sure where Deshaun's going to be drafted, but I do think he'll be successful in the right system. He's, if we don't want to veer off into scout mode, but he's of slighter build than Vince Young. He's certainly a better passer. But I don't know that it's that he's going to get that same type of opportunity in terms of being a high draft choice. But just in terms of the history of college football, I think he cemented his place as a legend, and I think he's going to be, with all due respect to Lamar Jackson, who is a great player and a worthy Heisman winner. I think Deshaun Watson is going to be one of those guys that we look back and say, he probably should have won a Heisman Trophy. But I think he cemented his place as a college football legend last night with that last drive and final play.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.